Hey guys, today I have the most exciting unboxing I have and probably ever will do. I have got my hands on the Reimagined Rare Indominus Rex, and this is absolutely crazy because they don't sell this in my country. I had to have it imported in from America. It was a whole fiasco. You do not want to know how much I spent on this. I spent £117 on this dinosaur. This is the most expensive dinosaur in my collection, and as many of you will know, the Indominus Rex is my favourite dinosaur, so I'm super excited to get this beauty out of her box in a sec. Taking a look at this absolute beauty in the box, you can see the gyrosphere from the iconic Jurassic World scene. You can also see she has this very unusual red colour, which I believe is from Jurassic World the game, the level 40 Indominus Rex, and honestly, she looks absolutely stunning. The sculpt is pretty identical to the Indominus Rex trackers, which sadly I do not have with me because I am at uni, but on the box I absolutely love. You can see the Jurassic Park original patterning, and of course it says electronic real feel, and you have a Jurassic World logo. And taking a look at the back of the box, it shows her in all her glory, just slightly face-tuned, and it shows you that she has a button which you press to make a noise, and her feature, which is the eating. Just like the other rubber real feel dinosaurs like the T-Rex, they eat small ones and they have a hatch on their belly. And the button is just here. And there is one of her several sounds displayed, so let's open her up. Okay, so I'm going to start with this little slip here. And this one too. And then we have this little tie, which is what keeps the foot in the box. And once this is removed, we can click or snip off all the little ties. And here she is in all her beauty. Look at how stunning this model is. And now she's in my hands, I can definitely say she is the exact same sculpt as the trackers Indominus. Sadly, I do not have that figure with me, but it's the one where you twist the tail and then it will move the neck. Obviously, she has no action feature because the whole body is rubber, whereas the action figures, they're made of plastic. And the rubber feels pretty sturdy. You can see a little bit of the squish there. And the legs, they are plastic. And here is the little scan code if anybody wants to scan the dinosaur. Just like the legs, the face is also hard plastic, but the teeth are rubber. My only issue with this figure is, unlike the tracker, it doesn't have painted nails, and the arms feel really fragile because they're rubber. You can kind of see the seam. This is where the rubber is, this is where the plastic is, and I guess it's just because the Indominus has really long arms, whereas the rubber T-Rex, because the arms are short, you don't really notice how flimsy they are, but this does feel, okay, you can see there's no give really, it's just really flimsy. The spines feel very well attached on, and as you can see, just like the trackers Indominus, the sculpt is just beautiful, very screen accurate I'd say, and obviously she just has a much more unique colouring. I will note on a positive note that the toenails are painted. I know that Mattel often did have a problem with not painting the dinosaur's toenails, so we have no fingernails but we have toenails, so that's good. And also, just like Mattel and unlike Hasbro, we don't have any bullet holes, any screw holes on this beautiful figure. As you can see, both sides are just immaculate, and on the stomach you have the slit where the toys will come out after she swallows them, and the battery, so it's all in the voice box, all very well concealed, not visible on the dinosaur. In terms of articulation, we have upper jaw and lower jaw. They both open almost at 90 degrees. The arms move frontwards, like that, and of course probably 180, but truthfully I really don't want to risk it with the kind of flimsy fingers. There's also hip rotation. There is leg rotation, but mine is very, very stiff. I can't get my right leg on the Indominus to move at all, and I don't really want to snap her, so I guess I'll just leave her in the standing position. I mean, it's not a bad position. Looks pretty good, pretty great stance. And proportion-wise, I'd say she looks very screen accurate. Often the tails are a little bit too short, unlike the Hammond collections where they add the length on, and I don't know if we're ever going to get a Hammond collection Indominus at this point, guys. I really, really hope so. But yeah, this is probably my current favourite figure now in my collection. She's just absolutely beautiful. So now let's get onto the electronics. So there's a button on the back around here. Okay, that's one sound. That is the iconic Indominus Rex roar. There you go, beautiful. So I think that's 4 different noises, correct me if I'm wrong on that. They all sound really good, really clear, crisp quality. So as you guys know, as I've mentioned it like 3 times already, I don't have my Trackers Indominus to compare, or sadly my rubber Rex, but I do have just a standard Ankylosaurus figure. Here you can see for scale. To be fair, they look pretty in scale for like the fight scene when the Indominus Rex fights and kills the Ankylosaurus. They look pretty good. And I have a fan favourite with me too. Here is my Hammond collection Spinosaurus in scale with the Indominus. So yeah, as I mentioned, it's just a really short tail. As body size, they're actually pretty similar. It's just the tail is quite short on the Indominus, as they have with the typical standard action figures. I get that. Yeah, they look pretty good together. I do have one final Jurassic figure I would like to compare her to, and this is probably my favourite of all time that I own. This is my super colossal, nearly dropped her there, Indominus. And she's absolutely huge. She's 3.5 feet long, absolutely beautiful sculpt. I mean, just look at this thing, absolutely beautiful beast. And here she is with the Reimagined Indominus Rex. And you can see they revised the head sculpt on the later Indominuses, but I think they both look absolutely great. Like if Mattel know how to do one thing, it's always going to be the Indominuses. They haven't made a bad Indominus that I've seen. Yeah, if I stand them at the same height, you can't even see the Reimagined Indominus on the screen when I sit them both on my lap. So there's the scale. I'd say the Super Colossal is straight up double the size of the standard action figures. And on a final note, it would be very, very rude of me if I didn't show you her eating action feature, because obviously she doesn't have a traditional like action feature, like a tail swing or a claw swing or a biting slashing motion. But the Reimagineds, just like the Super Colossals, they have an eating feature. So here is a tiny Stegosaurus, and I'm just going to feed the Stegosaurus to the Indominus. Gonna close the mouth, shake her about a bit, and then we're going to need to get to the slot. Just like that. This feels wrong. Feels like a C-section on a dinosaur, but it's a little bit fiddly. That Stegosaurus is in my fingers but doesn't want to come out. There you go. Out comes the Stegosaurus. So I hope you enjoyed this dinosaur unboxing. I have a couple others on my channel if you'd like to check that out. And follow me for more Jurassic World and animal content. Have a great day, everybody, and I love you all.